And blank, besides yourself, who else would weigh in on this? Layer. And how does that process work? Layer. What is your role in that process? Qualify. And how much influence do you have in that process? Qualify. What generally happens when you recommend something like this? Do they generally go with your recommendation? Sometimes you will be able to get through all these questions during the qualification stage, but if you get rushed, just ask as many as you can. It is important that you have a clear idea of what your influencer's role is and how much influence he or she actually has before you go through your demo or presentation later. By the way, once you begin your demo, it is always a good idea to go back through these questions before you launch into your pitch. Doing so will give you a heads up as to how it is likely to end. Wouldn't it be nice to know what the stall is before it even comes up? Once it does, here is how you handle it. You. So, from what we've gone over, it sounds like this would be a great fit for you. Let's go ahead and get you started today. Influencer. Well, I'm going to have to show this to the committee. You. I understand. And just out of curiosity, based on what you've seen here today, do you personally think this would work for you, your company, department, and so on? Influencer. Yes, it looks good. You. Great. Then I take it you are going to recommend it to the committee? Influencer. Yes, I will. You. Good. Just out of curiosity, what generally happens when you take something to the committee that you personally recommend? Or you. Good. Just out of curiosity, when you take something to the committee that you personally recommend, what do they tend to do? Or you. Great. And how much influence do you have with what they will end up doing? Or you. Great. And how often do they go with your recommendation? Note, if you get buy-in that they generally go with what they recommend, then move to close. You. Wonderful. Since they usually take your recommendation and since you are on board with this, here is what I recommend we do. I'll go ahead and get the contract out to you and schedule an install date. Once you get the approval, we'll already have much of the work done to get you going. Now, what is a good time for the installation?